Erminnie A. Platt Smith came to Jersey City with her children and husband in 1866, and she was to die here in 1880, but not without accomplishing a great deal for culture in this city, especially the founding of the Aesthetic Society, which was a group of intellectually minded women who met regularly at her house and later at the church around the corner, the Lafayette Reformed Church. Matthew Arnold spoke there. Thomas Alva Edison spoke there. Oscar Wilde spoke there. She was a very sophisticated person in terms of literature, art, culture generally. Her own background was as a geologist, a linguist, an anthropologist, and an ethnologist. Erminnie came from a rural area, and of course she later found her way after a stint in Chicago with her husband, Simeon, here to Jersey City. Like a lot of people at that time in Jersey City, or at least some people at that time in Jersey City, she was a rural, small town, Anglo-Saxon Protestant, coming to a city that was increasingly an immigrant city. And it was here, though, that she was to do her seminal work in anthropology and in linguistics and in geology. She had a group of women who were especially close to her, who were known as her apostles, and helped her organize the work of the Aesthetic Society and bring the latest ideas in art and literature and science to the people of Jersey City. So she was part of cultural uplift and a very sophisticated person herself. She read and spoke several languages, including German and French, and she lived, in fact, a number of years in Germany while her children were studying there. And the contributions that she made to the study of the Iroquois were groundbreaking and seminal. That's why she wound up working for the Smithsonian, and where her contributions were considered invaluable. She was a mentor for women. Her apostles, as they were called and called themselves, she selected these women carefully, and they were especially close to her, and she essentially mentored them. And they went on to make contributions in the area of home life, of course, but also in the areas of higher education. One of the articles that I read about her, she wasn't the least bit starchy. Her manner was easy and unaffected. If people think of Victorian as stiff and starchy, she was the opposite of stiff and starchy. She had a good sense of humor. She was funny. She told jokes. So she seems to have been all around a very creative person. As we know, humor and creativity often go together. And apparently she had a very strong and good sense of humor. Here, her work for the Aesthetic Society involved introducing Jersey City's elite and intellectuals to the luminaries I just mentioned, people like Thomas Alva Edison and Oscar Wilde and Matthew Arnold. She was a very strong, her work, churchwoman. She was a very strong churchwoman and a very active member of the Lafayette Reformed Church around the corner from where she lived. When she was buried, every single pallbearer, with one exception, was a minister. This was definitely not coincidental. It reflected their respect for her spiritually and her interest in things spiritual.